All right, following Saturday's sports wagering action, we're 2-0 in our last two board member tier package picks on brockpage.com. And the link for our board member tier package is in the description section below. Now, if you're not signed up for that membership, or, well, if you have no idea what I'm talking about, I'm going to explain a little bit more about it in just a moment. But before we go ahead and move on, just want to take a quick time out and welcome you to the video. My name is Brock Page, and I do sports picks for free right here on YouTube. I also sell my personal bets on brockpage.com, and I have packages on that website starting at just $1.99. Now, the purpose of these YouTube videos is to provide free informational sports betting content, and it's also designed to generate interest in signing up for a membership on my website. Now, you may be wondering what the difference is between what I do here on YouTube and what I do on my webpage. Well, what I do here on YouTube is I'll handicap the entire slate of games in any given sport, side and total. And what I do on my website is I actually share with you which one of these free YouTube picks on my channel that I'm actually betting on personally. And with that, guys, let's go ahead and dive into some NHL content. We're going to start with the Avalanche taking on the Bruins, 1 o'clock Eastern puck drop on Monday, February 21st, 2022. Colorado's minus 165 with the total at 6. Darcy Kemper, he's the expected netminder for the Avalanche. Linus Ullmark for Boston. And despite some really good numbers out of Ullmark this year, the Bruins have lost 4 out of their last 6, and they've actually been terrible in recent meetings with Colorado. As a matter of fact, the Bruins lost 8 out of their last 10 meetings against Boston. The Bruins have lost 8 out of their last 10 meetings against Colorado. Sorry about that. And they've also been held to just 2 goals per contest during that span. And speaking of offensive production, or lack thereof, the Bruins have also gotten into a bit of a bad habit of throttling down late in games offensively. They're currently in the bottom 5 in the league in third period scoring. They're taking on a Colorado team who won 8 out of their last 10. And they're actually in the top 5 in road scoring. Mikko Rantanen has 26 goals on the year along with 32 assists. Meanwhile, Nazem Kadri is the team's leader in points with 63 of them. And when it comes to defensive play in this game, Colorado's in the top 10 in fewest road goals allowed. Now, Darcy Kemper is 25-5 through 30 starts this year. He's been really good. He's got a .240 goals against average, .920 save percentage. When it comes to the injury report, Byram is still out indefinitely for the Avs. Meanwhile, for Boston, Vakinen is still out. Marchand still serving that suspension. When it comes to the total in this one, Boston saw overs recently with Carolina, Pittsburgh, and Dallas. Meanwhile, Colorado on the other side, they're 15-8 to the over in all of their road games this year. I'm going to lean toward Colorado minus 165 in the over 6 goals. Next contest, it is going to be Hurricanes versus the Flyers, 3 p.m. Eastern start time. Carolina's minus 175, total 6 goals. Antti Raanta possible for the Hurricanes. Carter Hart for Philadelphia. And despite some much improved stats for Hart, well, the only stat that matters is still lacking. The netminder has gotten the W in only 9 out of 25 starts this season, and the Flyers are allowing 34 shots on goal a game at the Wells Fargo Center. And speaking of their own building, Philly's gotten the W in just 8 out of 24 contests at home. They're taking on a Hurricanes team who ranks in the top 10 in road scoring. And they're led by Andrei Svechnikov, who scored 22 times, has 47 total points. Meanwhile, Sebastian Aho is the team's leading points getter with 51. When it comes to defensive play in this one, Carolina is allowing only 2.4 goals per contest. And they may have Antti Raanta in the net, who is 6-3 in his last 9 starts. Once again, he's not confirmed because these guys are going to be in the second of a back-to-back. But it does look like Ranta's going to get the start. And if he does get the nod, the goaltender has a .239 goals against average and a .909 save percentage. Now, injury-wise, Gardner's still out. Trocheck is questionable. Meanwhile, for the Flyers on the other side of things, Brassard, Farabee, and Allison, they are still out for them. When it comes to the number in this one, the Flyers are 63% to the over at the Wells Fargo Center. They also saw 6 out of their last 10 meetings with Carolina get over the line. So if you're into historical trends, you certainly want to think about that one there. Meanwhile, the Hurricanes saw overs recently with Nashville, Boston, and Ottawa. I'm going to lean toward Carolina minus 175 in the over 6 goals. Next contest, it is going to be Jets versus the Flames, 4 p.m. Eastern start time. Calgary's minus 220 with the total at 6 goals. Jacob Markstrom for Calgary, Connor Hellebuck for Winnipeg. Now, the Jets are allowing nearly 34 shots on goal a game when traveling, and they've also gotten the W in just 36% of their road games. Now, they're taking on a red-hot Calgary team who won their last 9 straight, and they allow fewer goals per contest than any other team in the league. Now, goaltender Jacob Markstrom, he's 22-10 this year with a .209 goals against average and a .927 save percentage. And when it comes to offensive production, Johnny Gaudreau has 63 total points. He actually leads the NHL in plus-minus. Gaudreau's currently a plus 40 when he's on the ice. When it comes to offensive shots on goal, the Flames are averaging nearly 37 shots on net per game. They're actually in the top 3 in the league in offensive shots on goal. Now, total-wise, Calgary went 5-4 to the under in their last 9 meetings with Winnipeg. So, once again, if you're into historical trends, plenty of unders to go around. Meanwhile, the Jets saw games with Chicago, Minnesota, and Philadelphia recently fall under the line themselves. I'm going to lean toward Calgary, minus 1.5 in the under 6 goals. Next matchup, it is going to be Leafs-Habs, 7 o'clock East. Toronto's minus 295, total 6 goals. Jack Campbell for Toronto. Andrew Hammond possible for Montreal. Now, Montreal has yet to reach double-digit wins this season, and they're dead last in the league in home scoring. No real surprise there. Now, defensively, on the other end of the ice, well, they allow more goals per contest than any other team in the NHL. These guys are just, downright terrible. They're taking on a Toronto team who's amongst the best in the league in scoring on average per contest. Austin Matthews has 33 goals and 59 total points. Meanwhile, Morgan Riley leads the club in assists with 36 of them. When it comes to defensive play, the Leafs allow only 2.7 goals per contest. They've got Jack Campbell between the pipes here today. He's 23-8 with a .241 goals against average and a .922 save percentage. Now, total-wise, Toronto went 4-1 to the over in their last 5 road games, 80% to the over in their last 10 at any location. Meanwhile, Montreal went 70% to the over in their last 10 contests themselves, 6-2 to the over in their last 8 at home. I'm going to lean toward Toronto minus 1.5 and the over 6 goals. And with that, we're going to jump into our next and final matchup of the show. It is going to be Kraken versus the Canucks, 10 p.m. Eastern Star Time. Vancouver is minus 170 with the total at 6. Thatcher Demko for the Canucks, Philip Grubauer for Seattle. As bad as Grubauer has been this year, the Kraken's still done a real nice job cashing in on the puck line. As a matter of fact, Seattle's 15-9 against the number on the road this year. That's good for 63% in that category. Defenseman Carson Soucy's a +7 when he's on a shift. And speaking of defensive play, the Kraken actually leads the NHL in fewest defensive shots on goal on the road. Now, they're taking on a Vancouver team who won just 10 out of 23 home games this year, and they've had some significant problems scoring at home. You go in the store?
Yep.
Oh. I don't think so.
Okay.
I think I'm good. All right.
Your socks.
Are those palm trees?
Yeah, with Christmas lights.
I like them. Love you. Have a good day now.
Thanks, I'll be back.
All right. All right. Like I said, the Kraken actually leads the NHL in fewest defensive shots on goal on the road. They're taking on a Vancouver team who won just 10 out of 23 home games this year, and they've had some significant problems scoring at home. As a matter of fact, the Canucks are currently in the bottom 5 in home offensive points per game. Home offensive goals per contest. Sorry about that. And when it comes to defensive play, they're allowing nearly 33 shots on goal a game at the Rogers Arena. Now, total-wise, Vancouver's 17-6 to the under in front of their home fans this year. They also saw unders recently with Toronto, Chicago, and Calgary. Meanwhile, Seattle saw unders recently with Calgary, the Islanders, and Boston themselves. I'm going to lead towards Seattle plus 1.5 and the under 6 goals. And with that, guys, that's going to do it for me. Don't forget to check me out on brockpage.com. But most importantly, guys, got to thank you for joining me right here on YouTube. Really hope you enjoyed all this great free content, all this great free information. With that said, guys, happy Sunday or Monday to you, depending on when you're watching this. Best of luck to you. And I look forward to seeing you later on today on my website at brockpage.com.